Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in for today's Northern Ag TV. Well, the University of Wyoming Extension's Sheep Task Force will be hosting a free webinar series this upcoming month featuring ways that producers can get one or maybe two steps ahead during the upcoming lambing season. Now, the webinars will be put on by members of the Sheep Task Force featuring several industry professionals and guests. I spoke with Jedidiah Hewlett, who's the extension educator in Converse County, and he shared kind of the thought process of getting this free lambing webinar to fruition.
We're just trying to kind of get the ball rolling sooner than later so people can start thinking about what to do around lambing. The biggest thing is obviously getting those ewes prepped for a good, healthy lamb crop, and that includes vaccinating usually 2 to 4 weeks before those lambs start to drop. That really helps boost the passive immunity through colostrum.
Jedidiah highlighted the themes of the upcoming webinars and also shared on who some of the featured guests will be.
Our first session on March 17th will be speaking with a couple of guests from the U.S. Meat Animal Research Center in Clay Center, Nebraska. And they'll be talking about some experiences they've had with colostrum and orphan lamb management and getting those lambs off to a good start. And then on March 26th, we'll be talking more about the ewes and kind of trying to mitigate metabolic stress with the nutrition and controlling those environmental conditions around lambing as much as possible. And that session we'll be visiting with Dylan Laverell, who is a former UW graduate, and he's now at Lincoln University down in New Zealand, and our extension sheep specialist, Dr. Whit Stewart.
Now, of course, the upcoming lambing season, usually weather is a big concern, but that isn't going to be too big of a factor here this year with the very mild winter that we're seeing. However, some extended forecasts are calling for rains in March, and Jedidiah said that rains can be a big factor. Well, he also shared some other factors producers should keep an eye out for this lambing season.
Rain's a big one, right? If lambs or ewes get wet, they're basically that lower critical temperature that they can sustain, their body heat and everything is a lot lower. So trying to either get those ewes into a sheltered space, whether that's with windbreaks, trees, or a shed, those are really important, but also just making sure they're getting the adequate plane of nutrition to maintain their body weight and grow those fetuses here in the last trimester and transitioning through early lactation, where they'll really be expected to deliver some high quality milk to those lambs, and just trying to deliver a good diet to them and keep them on the up and up.
Producers interested in registering for the free webinar or learning more information about the lambing webinar series can go to uwagnews.com. That's all for today's Northern Ag TV. I'm Colton Young.